Okay. Okay, welcome to the October meeting of the Austin Adobe User Group. We meet monthly on the second Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Central. Our meetings are always free on Zoom. When you're here in the chat room, I will put a link that you can use to register your attendance tonight. And then we use those entries to pull a raffle twice a year for subscriptions to the Creative Cloud. We get 2 of those nice gifts from Adobe. We are always presenting different aspects of various Adobe apps. The 2 coordinators with whom I work are Jon Merrifield and Cornelius Chopin. And we welcome guest presenters anytime. You get 5 extra credits on the raffle if you present. And
she fell off. Oh.
There it went. There she is.
I'm back. I feel like a
get
Cheshire
5 extra
cat.
raffle tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So we are very excited to have tonight Jon Merrifield giving the presentation, and why don't you take over? Thank you.
Okay, great. I will. Thank you, Karen. So we're going to review Premiere Pro 2025. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen share, and then I'm going to bounce over here. Now, can you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay. And this is like the splash page when you first open up Premiere, which is not really even needed because right here you can go to File, Open, or New Project, and just like you can get from this splash page. Not all the Adobe apps have splash pages. Hold on one second, sorry about that. The other thing is in here, I noticed, it says templates right here. Like, oh, I just got a project template. That sounds great. But really, if you click this, it goes to this Adobe Express templates. Well, I don't want an Adobe Express template. I'm working in Premiere Pro. So in a way, it's kind of not, proper, or you wouldn't use that as a template. This doesn't even make sense. But if I hit New Project, then down here, there's a template. I can go to template. I go, oh, I can do a broadcast template or a social media template, which I'm just going to pick that just so we can see what it is. So this creates a new project. I'm just going to name it something else. And so it'll sort of come up. And if I go to edit, it has sort of setups already for like social media, Facebook. These are vertical templates and like that. So this isn't really what I'm going to show, but I just wanted to kind of show that because it's sort of confusing when you go to New Project and it says templates and they're not the actual templates when you're first on that first page. So I'm going to close all projects, which I always do, and I'm just going to open up my project for this demo, which is my template. So here I have an edit. Let me just reduce the size of my Zoom here. So this is actually it's an edit from Adobe, and I'll play it once just so we can see it. Okay, that's all it is. Just a little like 16-second promo. This right here is called the safe margin area. I use it all the time, and it's because I can see where the center is. So sometimes if I have some interview with someone, or maybe it was even shot remotely or something, which happens so much now, they'll be like this. They won't really be centered. And I might want to blow them up, and I'll do that. And I can see where my center is right there. And this is sort of my top of the headline here for me. I don't like too much headroom. Sometimes people shoot themselves and they'll be like down here and nothing but headroom up there, which just doesn't, they're like, well, just move it up. Like, well, I can't because then there's going to be a black, that's the bottom of the frame. So anyway, I turn this on and off all the time just so I can see where I'm at. And what this originally is this is called safe title, this inside line. And this is called safe action. And it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. If you build a Photoshop file and you say, make this file is going to be for film and video, when the first frame that comes up, it'll have these exact safe margins in your Photoshop document.
It's kind of like a bleed in a print publication, isn't it?
Well, what it was meant was,
It is.
this was all back from standard def television. And what it was any titles that you put on your video, just to be sure they're not cut off, should be inside this line. And any action you want to see in the video, if there are hands over here or something, you don't want it cut off on the screen, you want it to be inside this line. Okay, but now this is still, like I said, it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere, but it's also like from the 50s. The screens don't cut off that much anymore. They just don't. Right? 10 and 20%. Plus it was all done when it was standard def. So, this gap here is smaller than this gap here. So it really doesn't even make technical sense, or it's not centered and all that. But I kind of use it as a guide, and I rarely push anything. I'll push stuff outside of the outside line, even titles, but just not that much, or maybe only halfway. Anyway, but I just use it to center. So I'm just telling you that. So this little, I'm going to show a couple of cool features now in Premiere that kind of weren't here before. One thing is they added like a whole bunch of video effects and visual transitions all over here. So now I have all kinds of transitions that, here I'll do one that's lights and blurs. Or let's do light leak impacts. And if I put that down in here as a transition, I'll zoom into that. Whoops. You can see that little light flare transition right on that cut point. Also, these, when you click on them, you also get a whole set of parameters that you can adjust, which is all these right here. So strike amount, how much does it rotate? And let's see, let's make it stronger and everything and see what that does.
Rotate as in clockwise,
So
counterclockwise, or 3D?
Rotate shift. So, and you can do.
John, what do you mean by rotate?
Well, it's when I turn it here, you can see it sort of spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and all these are keyframeable. So if you turn on the stopwatch, there's a keyframe there. We'll put that at the beginning, and then I'll rotate it a whole bunch that way and put that keyframe at the end. Now, over the course of this transition, we should see that rotating like 100 times. It's so fast you don't really. Let's pick a different one.
Maybe it's Zoom, but I'm not seeing a rotation.
I saw it a little while ago. I saw something, but I don't see it now.
Yeah, so let's look at what some of these others do. This is a pop. So none of these transitions were there before, and you can change how the trajectory of it starts and finishes. You can tell, hey, surprise me and do your own. If we increase the amplitude. But so anyway, there's an incredible amount of new transitions in Premiere, which are just kind of awesome. Let's see what the glitch does. Yeah, so there's a glitch. So some of these before you had to either go buy a preset or maybe go into After Effects and work. There's a lot of work now that we can do in Premiere that you had to go to After Effects previously. The graphics are really good, I think. I'm going to step into that in a little bit too. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to show was, I talked about templates already. One other thing that they changed that's new is they call it dynamic waveforms. So here's the audio, but the waveforms usually just represent the audio, but now they also represent the audio and the audio level. So if I have this clip selected, which is the audio clip, which is really the music, I think. Let's see, what is it? Oh, that's just a sound effect. Here's the music down here. So these are mute and solo. So when I hit solo on a track, it's just going to play this track, and you can see it automatically muted all the other tracks. So now it's just going to play that music. Oh, I guess that's sound effect. That's not the music either. Let's see. This must be down here. Yeah. So what I wanted to show was these waveforms. They're dynamic. So if I can increase the volume of this track by clicking and dragging here, right? And that, whoops, sorry, wrong track. By clicking and dragging here, and you can see what that waveform is doing down there. Two blown out, right? Oops, reset. And this line also represents the volume in the audio as well. So I do this all the time. And so maybe instead of having that cut off, it would be nice if it would fade. You could put a transition there like a dissolve, but I like to use keyframes because then I can really control it. And so in these audio tracks, you can put keyframes on there by, you know, if I click this stopwatch, that's going to turn on keyframing and put a keyframe right there. Or if I come down to this white line and hold down Control, I get a little cursor with a plus sign, and I can click a keyframe right there. So you can see it, put it here in the timeline, right? Or in the effects controls timeline. And then I would come down to the end, and I could hold down Control and click, and there's another keyframe, and I can adjust the volume of that keyframe just by dragging it. So now that audio is going to fade out.
John,
Right there,
could
and
you
you see
explain what a keyframe is used for? Is it something like it was in Flash?
Say that again.
I'm asking if you could explain what a keyframe does, and I was asking if it's anything like the keyframes that we used to use in Flash.
Oh, yeah, basically it's the same exact thing. So, and they can work on almost any parameter. So what it is at this time, which is 1 second and 22 frames. Well, actually it's one back from there. It's 1 second and 20 frames. We're at this 0 dB. And then down here on this one, you know, at 4 seconds and 4 frames, it's down as low as it can go. We'll say minus 100. So now it's going to transition between those two keyframes of 0 and minus 100. And it works the exact same in pictures. So if I was up here in the picture, oops, that's not the picture. If I was, let me get this here. Oops. That's a neat feature. If I was on the picture and I wanted the position to be start right there, but then as the shot goes on, I want this whole frame to move off to the left. I just put a keyframe there right on the front. And now I'm moving it off to the left, and it automatically put another keyframe there because the keyframes are already on. So it's going to transition now between those two, right? Which would be the same kind of thing that we did in Flash back when. You go, I need that faster. Well, I can just move the keyframe sooner, and then now it happens faster. Oh, I want it to be a lot faster. Oh, I don't want, I want the keyframes gone. Never mind, I don't want to move it. I'm just going to hit this blue stopwatch and I'll get rid of the keyframes. And I'll hit reset the position. Okay, Here's one of the new features that's cool though. So right here, this is the end of my shot. Here's something they just changed too, which I don't really like. But so you probably can't see it, but on this clip right here is a little white triangle. Right?
No, I don't.
You
No,
can't
really
really
can't
see it.
see
You
it.
see that corner is a little different, maybe. Yeah. So there used to be, until this latest version, like last week, there used to be one at the end too. This is the end of the clip, so I can't go any farther, and there's a little white triangle, but they took that one away.
Oh, it's like a little arrowhead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They used to be on both the front and the end of the clip, if that was the end of the clip, but now the end of the clip is there, but they don't have that there anymore. I don't know why.
It looks like when you hover over it, I see something in the corner, but you're moving
Yeah, like
quickly.
there's one right here, right, which is just telling me that's the first frame of this original clip, which is this clip right here. So here's our problem. I need to fill this gap. And it would be awesome if this shot was longer because it's timed perfect. And I love my whole edit. I'm just missing footage. So there's a new tool in Premiere Pro called Generative Extend Tool, which I'm hovering over right here. Yeah, now all I got to do is select that tool, go to the end of that clip that I'm at, and drag it to where I want it to go. And now it's going to make new footage of him. And actually, I'm going to back up 1 second. I'm going to change this because I'm going to go, this is from experience. So I want to fill this up with our generate new footage, but I'm going to go a little bit like 2 frames beyond where I want it to go. Because now this is going to take a minute. What happens is when I tested this, it's not always perfect. And there's like a frame that mimicked the other frame. So there was like 2 frames that were the same. So for it to be the smoothest, it helped me if I cut one of those frames off. So that's why I'm doing this, make it longer than really where I need it, just so I have a little bit of playroom to edit it, if that makes sense. Yeah, and so while that's happening, we're going to talk about another thing in Premiere Pro, and yeah, it's not even halfway done yet. So, and they changes a little. It's sort of the same. There's this graphics template panel, and in these panels, there's all kinds of graphic setups that already come with Premiere Pro. Now, I don't use them so much because after a while, you're like, oh, those are just the ones that come, but I'll show you. So, and we can also make your own. So I'm just going to drag this classic logo presents out to my timeline. And now when I drag through here, you can see that logo. And then so when I double click that, that's going to open up the properties panel, and these are all the things in that effect. So if I need to change the text from presents to AAUG, and let's say that's awesome. And then I can go down to text. I don't like that font, so I can change it to the font I want. All right, all in text here. And the font size. Whoops, you have to have it selected. Font size. And what do we want? Arial. Okay, there it says AI generated. So what that did, if I look in my projects panel, usually it makes a new clip called extended. It probably is here. Yeah, it's right there. So it made a new clip and it called it extended.
Hmm.
Now, the thing is, this clip doesn't live anywhere. I mean, it lives as a code in the documents for, in the app data documents for Premiere Pro. But if you pass this project on to someone else, this likely is not going to go with it. So if you're, for me, if I'm doing this, I'm going to send this project to some other editor I'm working with, I would want to like render this clip out that I just created new.
So
And how do you
is
do,
it like
how do you do that?
Is it like a cached file? Like a rendered cached file?
Exactly. That's where it is. It's in the cache files.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but so now let's watch it. And there it, I'm going to get rid of this logo for now. Here it is. So you can kind of see, now it might be hard for you guys to see, but when I go back here, I can see right where that frame is. Right in here. See, there's like double frames. So I'm going to cut, one of those out of there just to eliminate that, little kind of jump that happens there. There's still a jump there, maybe one more frame.
It's most evident if you look between the two parallel lines on the right.
But you can get there pretty good. And like that's what I always say. It's like all the automatic things, anything that works automatic is great, but it's never perfect.
Right.
When you track motion, that's great for 196 of the 198 frames, but these two I'm going to have to manually, adjust. But it's an awesome thing. I mean, it extended the shot. It's just crazy to me.
It's kind of like content aware fill in Photoshop, but this is with motion.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that's in here is there's a whole bunch of different types of effects that you can put on things. So let me see here. I just tested this. Yeah, light leaks are cool too. Did I already do that? It's kind of a little light leak during that transition. But what I'm looking for is, let's see, earthquake impacts. I'm going to put that in our graphic and see. Earthquake impacts, just drag it. Oh, it doesn't want to go on there. Sometimes, it has to go, things have to go on footage and not graphics. It should go right on there though. Huh. I just tested this right before we had our meeting and everything worked, of course,
Oh, sure. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. How is that not possible? Oh, those are transitions. That's what it is. It's me. Not transitions, but effects. That's what we want. Oh, let's look for something. Motion, rotate. Let's do I think there's like a camera shake. Yeah, there it is. Let's do a camera shake on our graphic. There, so now our graphic when it comes on is like camera shaking. And those things, of course, all come with all the parameters to make adjustments. So I'm just going to boost everything up, make it do a lot more of motion here. And let's just make it smaller. So anyway, you can play all day long these trying to get something cool. Oh, not grow. We don't want that.
Uh-huh.
Let's do lightwise. Edge glow. I have that on there, but I'm not really seeing it. I think that's probably one of those ones that just going to work. We'll see. On the actual video. Anyway, so those are that. Let me look at my notes here real quick. Oh, there's a, so here's our extends done. We already looked at it, I guess, but yeah, that's, to me, that's, I mean, that it's magic. I mean, I can see, I mean, Photoshop removing thing, remove it in Photoshop, that's great. But with motion video, I just didn't expect that. I've had a couple people ask me, they're like, do you think AI is going to put you out of a job? I'm like, well, no, because it's just going to help me do my job. It's another tool. It's still, and when you use, if you use generative AI for an image or for video or for whatever, I'm doing some work on it, and I have an idea for a spec spot for HEB actually, but you can't really art direct it. You could spend all day with prompts in there just trying to get the right angle on a sofa or something. So for me, it helped when I did that. It helped. I put in example images. I'm like, I need a sofa at this angle, right? So I took a shot of my sofa and use it as a reference, because at the right angle. But I don't, I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to wait.
Picky anime girl.
Yeah. We're not going to be able to prompt our way into a whole video. I mean, all my stuff are like today with the clients are like, hey, change out that logo and, take the music down, and, none of that's going to be solved with AI. I also have a thing where I don't think it's not really intelligent. Here's my unit of measure, because it can't initiate sarcasm, which is a quality that I look for in my friend group. Can you initiate sarcasm? Okay, good, you're in.
Perfect.
As I understand it, you're not allowed to have to put sarcasm in if you're programming AI, because they want to make you feel all lovey-doved.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that. It's also, I use it every day. It's like my therapist and everything, but it's too much of a yes man, and it's just not. Sometimes it says stuff that's awesome, and I use it as an awesome tool. I love it, but it's just not. It's really not intelligent. It's great with data, but bad with nuance. Okay, that wasn't supposed to be part of our thing.
You allowed it to be human.
Another thing that seems to work well, which I hate in Premiere, is captions. I get requests all the time now. I'll do a 10-minute video for my clients, and we got to need a social version, and it's got to have captions. Oh, but not like that. Oh, they got to be higher.
Isn't that necessary for ADA, for accessibility?
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's also, I mean, you know, YouTube and all those and TikTok and all of them have automatic captions. They could meet that criteria, but they want art directed captions or in a certain place, or you
Oh,
know, that's the
gotcha.
wrong
Okay.
font. You just gotta, you know, our font is Roboto and we gotta use that or whatever. Okay, so you know, every time I give a presentation, because I don't, you know, I work in Adobe Premiere almost every day. It's my finishing tool, and that means the same as all other people. You love-hate relationship with it, you know, because these tools are complex, and they're, you know, there's always going to be bugs or screw ups, or you know, or you know, sometimes I spend an hour trying to figure out a problem, and then it's because I didn't have something clicked, you know, or whatever. You know, that thing we made, it does say AI generated right there.
Where does it say that?
Right here. Yeah, I want to do it again. Let's do it again and see. I'm just gonna take this shot. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so this is the end of his shot. I'm gonna take that tool. I'm just gonna extend it like 10 frames. It shows you right there in that little pop-up how much you're adding. It says plus 0.00010. And we'll just wait and see. This one should go faster. It's not as far. All that. Yeah, I don't. These are great tools. This is amazing. I don't know when, you know, I don't know when exactly I'll use it, but I'm sure it's going to come up. Because I would do a lot of that in the past where I, you know, I'll, if the camera cut out early, if there's some problem, you know, I might slow down a section to cover an area. And if it's not too long or syncing with their audio, then you can usually get away with it. But this, to me, this is just magic. What
that's a
else?
good word for it.
Yeah.
Alchemy, something out of nothing.
And the audio is just getting really better too. There is a couple of issues. There's been a workaround in Premiere for like 20 years. Like every professional editor I know has his default audio transition set to 2 or 3 frames. Because often in like a dialogue track, let's say you just have cuts, you know, where you cut out a couple of sentences. So it's this sentence, and this sentence. And there's, you know, edits in between them. And I did this for like 20 years. It would pop, this little teeny little pop on all the edits. So if you put a little 2 or 3 frame transition there, it would eliminate that. So that's what I would do on those VO tracks. I would get done. I'm just gonna fake this here. I'm just gonna put a few cuts in here. I'm just gonna pretend this is a dialogue track right here, and it has these cuts in here, and this is where I'm talking these little pops would happen. And so what you do is, if you hold down Control, and now I can select all these cuts together, and then I can apply the default transition to them like I just did, which really is you see those little things in there now, a little 2 or 3 frame audio transition. And that would get rid of the little pops that happen there. And every Premiere editor that I know does that same exact thing. Now I notice it isn't always happening, but it still does sometimes. Anyway, so here's the new shot right here. You can see again, it says AI generated right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn this off. Also, these over here, if I hit shift on any of these mutes, if I hit shift, it'll turn them all on or off. Same thing with solo, but if all of them are solo, that means they're all playing, so it's kind of useless. But so anyway, here's those. It's the end of this shot right here. If you watch, I'm just gonna turn these off so you don't hear it. Yeah, that's magic. That's magic to me. The snow going over. I just don't. I can see a little shift in his quality. Now you probably can't see that on your screens. I see there's a little shift in his quality right where it happens, but yeah, it's still, we could maybe hide it if it was worse than that, but it's amazing to me. That's all my notes. Was there any questions?
Only about 1 million.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see you're enjoying it. There's hope.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, some days I hate what I do, but yeah, no, it's a great tool that I hate to love. No, but it's really strong. I mean, I use one of the competitors too. You know, you have to, I think you have to be kind of strong in all the tools to get the best use out of them. And that's just what it is. It's a tool, but I mean, right now, I don't think there's a stronger one for editing. And I'm really, I'm an After Effects compositor. That's really what I am, not a video editor. So I always need a finished tool. And I used to use, 15 years ago, I would use After Effects and finish tool. But After Effects was my compositing and graphics tool. But it was like 10 years ago or more, I got off that. Plus, I don't like tools that are only available on one platform. We only make this for Mac, or we only make this for Windows. Okay, well then. And then, you really don't, my belief is you don't learn the depths of something until you start teaching it. And so like 8 years ago, whenever I first started teaching at Lumen Bright, that's when, you really learn the program beyond, the section that you're using it for, the work that you're doing with it, because you have to teach to multiple devices, and everybody's agenda is different and what they need to learn and all that. So that's a good way to go deep. So this one looks like it's probably too loud. Did I raise that one? Because it's cut off there. Yeah, all this is too loud, I think. Minus. Oh, there we go. So here we can do that. We can add a lens flare in Premiere. It's a little bonus. So I'm going to go in here and effects. I'll just look for lens flare. I'll just search for lens, video effects, lens distortion, generate lens flare. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put it right on this clip. That's the thing. They don't like go above. They have to actually go on the footage. So there it is. Now I have this lens flare stuff. And if I select the name of lens flare, then I'll get the control tools over in the program monitor. This happens on all the effects. In other words, if the effect is not selected, then that thing isn't there.
Mhm.
If the effect is selected, then the thing is there. And this works the same on all of them. You know, not just this lens flare, but so I can move where that is. Right. And you can also keyframe. I'm going to keyframe everything. Oh, wait. Oh, well, I don't need to keyframe the lens type. I'm going to make it more bluish. Yeah, more natural. Well, let's do that. We'll start with it over here. Oh, that's perfect. Then this flashlight, I'll bring it down to his flashlight. Maybe I'll move this and make it a lot brighter.
Mhm.
And we'll keep moving it. So let's see if that has any. So animating lens flares, which I don't think you could do on the previous version of Premiere. They've added a lot of things that you can. All these film impacts are new. Yeah, so I want to complain, but you know, just like all of us, we get working on something and we'll be here all night. You know, oh my God, it's 2 a.m. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish. Well, what do you think?
Looks like fun.
Looks like fun. Yeah.
A little bit pulling out your hair and a little bit like fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good way to describe it.
Just like all the software, basically.
Oh, and here's my favorite shortcut in Premiere. Anytime I click an audio track, let's say I want that little beep to be lower, maybe not hitting up here around -6, maybe down around -18 or whatever. So this is my favorite shortcut. Now I'll zoom in here so we can see. We can see there's little transitions on there that we did that. And you can also adjust those transitions just by. Oh, you used to grab the box. Now you have to grab the line. Anyway, with the audio clip selected, if I use the open bracket and close bracket keys, it'll drop the dB level down. Here you can see it going to minus. I'm hitting the open bracket, and now I'm hitting the close bracket key, and it's going back up. I do that all the time. You can drag these, but sometimes that's not so, accurate and all that.
Yeah.
So I go, that's too loud. I'll just drop it down 3. I'll just hit the open bracket key 3 times. And I see there it dropped down 3 dB. And so, that's going to blend better with the voice of the music or whatever. That's my favorite keyboard shortcut. One thing that I don't like about Adobe, though, or one thing that bugs me is anytime I'm on an audio track, any audio track that's selected, the volume, the keyframing is already turned on. Right. So if I go to this track, well, I want that to be a little, hold on one second. I want that to be a little, I'll do this way. I want it to be a little louder or softer or something, So the whole track, I want it to be a little lower. So I can move this down by dragging this line, or I can do my keyboard shortcut and I can see it's -5 right there. But what that did was, well, now, oh, it's not. Someone must have complained. So the keyframing was automatically turned on. So anytime I adjusted this, it would put a keyframe automatically in there because keyframing is on. Now it's not. So apparently they changed that. we put one of these there, like, but I don't want that there. I just want to adjust the overall, and I go, oh, no, it should be a little lower. Okay, now I got keyframes where it's changing the audio, but I didn't want those. So now it still defaults to keyframing on, but it doesn't automatically put them there. Okay, it doesn't really make perfect sense to me, but every other parameter everywhere, they start out like that. No, a blank stopwatch. You want to turn keyframing on, you turn it on, puts a keyframe there, and now you can go somewhere else and adjust your keyframes. They changed it, obviously. Because oh, no, there it put one. Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, now it's back to that normal behavior. You know what I mean? So like on the video layers, if I go down to opacity, let's say, and I just wanted to mix that back so it was half seen, see that none of the keyframing is not turned on for anything. They're all blank, right? If I lower his opacity, there's no keyframe. That's just over the course of the whole shot. It's that opacity. I can turn keyframing on and, do a thing and fades up or whatever. And that's keyframing on. But in the audio tracks, keyframing is automatically already on. Yeah, that's the behavior I'm used to, which I don't know why. I don't know the logic behind that or what that is. So that's just one of my own little pet peeves. But you just know it and it doesn't matter. So you just go about your day. Okay. Did I miss anything? Do you have any other questions?
Well, John, thank you very much. I keep getting bounced off like every other minute, so I'm not going to even try to wrap up the meeting. When you're done, please finish it. And I think the recording will be intact, and I'll put a recording of this up on the Austin Adobe User Group website
Okay.
as soon as
Karen,
possible.
Are you located
And I
in
see claps coming through in the chat session.
Karen, are you located in Northeast Austin? I have a friend who keeps getting bumped off right now. Not on this show, but other things.
She's southwest,
Okay, that's not it then.
Zilker area.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to end the recording, I guess. Well, I'll just end the whole. I don't know how to.
Thank you, John.
Could I ask a quick question?
Oh, please.
Do you know if there's a way to turn dynamic waveforms off?
Oh, that's
Go
a
back
good
to the
question.
old version of the waveform?
Oh, I like that question.
Because I like to keyframe some of my transitions and I'll fade things out, but I do like to know if there is additional audio.
Is there
Later
audio
on.
there? Right. You're right. Yeah. I wonder if that's like a preference. That's a great question. No, I don't, no, it doesn't mean there isn't. I don't see there's a preference for that exact thing.
Yeah, I was looking earlier today and I couldn't find it either. I'll try researching online. Thank you though. Great presentation. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I wasn't sharing my screen anymore. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, for the recording, we will the second Thursday of October or of November, we have another one of these. I don't think we know what it is yet, but Karen will get that all set up and we'll send it out.
Hey.
How you doing, Corn Chop?
Corn chop.
I'm doing great. I get that
Okay.
corn chop. First four letter of my first name and the first four letter of my last name.
Oh, okay.
So they used to come out on a printer back in the old days,
Yeah.
10 years ago. And so this lady came to me one day and she said, "Well, can we call you Corn Chop?" She was kind of a little nervous about saying it. I said, "Yeah, you can call me Corn Chop. I've been called worse, right?" And it stuck. So everybody at the state agency know me as Corn Chop. So that's my name of endearment.
That's
I
just
like that.
Corn Chop.
I
Not to
know-
be confused with Pork Chop or Corn Pop. My granddaughter calls me Papa Corn. And my nickname when I was coming up was Cornbread. I've been called Coney. So every nickname I've had always had the word corn in it. Which, by the way, not one of my favorite food, but that's another story.
I like corny. Corny's
Uh,
good.
I was going to put one thing in the chat, which is there's a Adobe blog with all they're using and showing and different links to all those different effects and things that I just showed in our thing. So I'll put that in there real quick. Let's see. This is okay. Cool.
the name Corn
Corn
Chop
Twisted.
reminds me. I found out that my dog that's a mixture of German Shepherd and Husky, they call them Shefkis. The Shefkis start out Shepherd and wind up with Husky.
Sheshki.
Shefki.
I can't say that unless I've drank too much.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, well, I enjoyed the meeting. Thank you guys for
Thank you.
Thank
going.
you.
Well, you're very welcome. And we'll see you next month. I don't know what it's going to be yet or who or what, but we'll get that all figured out.
Okay, see you next time.
All right, see you guys.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.